Everybody, it's your guy Senpai Ry, and last night 2001 Igniz just dropped as a KoF Fest character, and I am so excited about this character having dropped. Why? Because I get to save my rubies. Thank God for that. Now, a purple attack type, great. Unless you have Genjiro, who has a 3 PG card, and hyper armor on his third skill, which is also lightning fast, covers about 3/4 of the length of the stage in PvP. That's what I need. And he has also health regeneration. Yeah, I'm happy with my purple attack type right now, because if you're a newish player and or Igniz is one of your favorites, of course, pull on him. He's a great character. I mean, he's a Fez character, which obviously means from the jump at the same time, he has some interesting skills. Now, instead of jumping right into the skill set, let's jump into the cores so that we could build off of that. His notable cores right now are Senior Executive Level 3, which increase attack by 3% for 5 seconds and penetration by 400 upon each attack, and it stacks up to 5 times. Now, that's awesome because Igniz is a floaty character just like Orochi, just like Zero, but I mean, he hits in rapid succession, especially his skill 1, which gives super armor on top of crit rate up 17% for 5 seconds after he uses a skill. But I mean, he doesn't have hyper armor, and that blows. I mean, especially in this stage of the game, you need some form of damage immunity, especially with the top tier meta characters that they have out now, in order to increase your survivability, or you're just done. I mean, you'll be able to wipe a bunch of easier characters in PvP, or a bunch of easier players in PvP, and get through most, if not all, the content on PvE. But I mean, hyper armor or damage immunity, that sticks out in my mind, and this character does not have it. And he only has super armor on his skill 1, his chain blades, for 3 seconds. And I mean, that's good, but I think that Igniz would have done a lot well if they put him back a few months, say around the Geese banner would have been a good drop for him. But okay, let's move right along, you guys. His next notable core is Narcissist Level 3, which has, unfortunately, a long 20-second cooldown, but it ups damage to target by 15% for 7 seconds when landing his skill 2, the Negagenesis. And it also decreases damage received by 25%, which is nice. He gets a quarter extra damage reduction, and it resets his skill cooldown of his skill 3, his Divine Arrow. Now, this is actually a really good core. Why? Because it essentially allows you to use his skill 2, and it resets his skill 3. Now, that's great. Omega Rugal has a similar ability. Whenever he uses it, it resets his other skills, so does Zero. And having an extra skill, being able to just be there and be available immediately after one of his other skill lands, that's amazing. That's great for DPS, end the round quickly, especially if you have a character like this. Now, his other skill worth managing and noting of would be his let's see, right here, his skill enhanced strike. It adds an extra 6% to his skill strike damage, which is only his first and his second skills. His first and second skills are strike skills, and his third and fourth skills are not. And finally, you of course have the 20% PG gain, which helps a lot build up his special moves. Now, let's go right into his skill set. So his skill 1 is Chain Blades. Let's see. Load, you bastard. Oh Lord, y'all are waiting on me. It's a vicious cycle. Y'all are waiting on me, and I'm waiting on this phone. Come on. Make it to the end. You got it. But I mean, Ignis is a good character, but personally, he's not for me. I mean, I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate mail about this because your Orochis or your Ignises or your Dalseems or your Anakaris, which is the mummy from Darkstalkers that just float around, they don't do a lot for me. I mean, my playstyle is fast, strong, aggressive characters that could actually have decent damage output. And of course, the cores, the battle cards, and blah 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 blah. There are special skill sets that put different attack increases, PG increases, defense, whatever. Those play a key role, but at its heart, where it's the most pure, is the skill set. And let's preview Ignis's. So, his skill 1. These are his chain blades. This one has a 10.9% cooldown and gives super armor for 3 seconds. And it ups his critical hit rate by 17% for 5 seconds. Which is cool. I mean, it gives him a massive amount of crit rate because maxing out a Fez character, say Nesquio, that has, say, one of his cores entitled to crit, it doesn't get over like 12 or 13 or 14%. I mean, unless you add cards or something to the mix. Now, this is the only ability, his skill 1, Chain Blades, the one that gives skill or super armor. It covers about 3/4 of the screen, which is nice. Super armor plus 3/4 of the screen, nice. Pretty quickly. It's nice. I would typically just start with that one because if you're going up against a stronger type of PvP character or somebody that runs shit as a PvP character, you're going to want to start that to at least get a little bit extra damage reduction from the super armor, and then you can combo into his 2 and 3. Now his skill 2 with an 11.5 second cooldown time, the Negagenesis, is he hits you with a skirt. he tail whips you with a skirt. It's just damage increase, and also the target can't gain buffs from the active skill for 4 seconds when landing a skill if you were to use this in PvP. That's the PvP exclusive, but also plays into Narcissist level 3, the core that we just previewed, which ups the damage to target by 15% for 7 seconds when landing this one. Okay? So he's going to have 15% extra damage. Or 15... he ups the damage to target by 15% for 7 seconds after he uses it. Not terrible. But also, what is really important is it also decreases damage by 25% and resets the cooldown time of his skill 3, this one. So it resets the cooldown time. So instantly, you're going to want to combo 2 into 3. So if you're going to start off in a regular match, I would just simply use, at the beginning of a PvP match, 1, give you that lightning fast move that covers 3/4 of the stage, especially for aggressive characters. It would work fine. Granted, they don't have another kind of super armor, hyper armor, damage immunity, which tends to be a lot of characters in this day and age. So you would go in with number 1, then personally, you could do 2 or 3, but I would go 1, then 3, and then that pops them up just a little bit, and then you would use 2. And after you use 2, it would reset skill 3, and you'd be able to use it again. So that's how you would typically go through your rotation whenever you're using Ignis. Now, his skill 3, let's talk about that for a second. The Divine Arrow. It inflicts lightning on target. Not this one, that's his special. Finger slipped. His skill 3, this one right here, it inflicts lightning on target, and essentially lightning is like poison, a strong version of poison, burn, bleed, what have you, because it increases active skill cooldown times by 2 seconds. So that's instantly like having a cooldown card on a skill by using this, and it deals shock damage to a target every second for 5 seconds, equal to 30% of attack. So it's based off of his attack. Now, having gone through all that, I mean, he's good. He's good, but I mean, not for me. Like I said, I don't like floaty characters. I like solid characters that could hit really hard that are quick. You know. And of course, you have his finisher move, which I love his finisher move. It it's a tall wave type finishing move, and it just goes all the way across the screen. So unless you roll through it, you're done. I mean, it's nice. And of course, you have his brutal god project, which is his, if you want to go the potential route of getting his card, which if you drew the character, I mean, you got to get his card. I have a 0 right now that doesn't have his battle card. It's driving me crazy. It's killing me. But once again, I mean, he's a good character, but he not my play style. And in this game, especially King of Fighters All-Star, you know how difficult it is to obtain rubies. Now, you need to start thinking about the future when it comes to different types of elemental characters. Not only that, but if they can play well with your type of fighting style. I mean, I'm not 91. Back in the arcade, I could barely see over the machine, but I was using Ryu or Ken. Those are my type of fighters. And for Darkstalkers, when I jumped on Neo Geo, John Talbane, the werewolf, my type of fighters. All the Sam show start off with Hal Maru. I had to get that character, and I'm so happy that he's not a Fest character, because I would rather go 200 pulls deep than 300 pulls. That's with an upped percentage of about 3 times more to obtain that character. That's crazy. Igniz is like 0.3 right now. So once again, it's completely up to you whether you want to pull Igniz or not. But if you have Genjiro, I mean, it's a hard pass for me, you guys. Sorry. I mean, I just can't do it. Okay, so I go this one, and then I go number 3, hit him with that, get the shock damage, equal to 30% of attack, 1 second for 5 seconds, and I'd hit him with the skill 2, the Neo Genesis, and that would bring him down, and that would instantly reset my skill 3, and then I would hit him with the Divine Arrow. So, that's Igniz for you. Let's move right along, you guys. Look at who we just found in the Soul Quest while trying to level up my Omega Rugal. Alright, so we'll be able to actually test Igniz, or going up against Igniz in a 2D environment similar to PvP. And let's see if we could check out his basic attacks and other skill set. Now granted, he's a level 40, so he's not going to be entitled to all of his max potential cores. But let's see. Okay, this is his basic attack. It moves forward while he attacks, and I mean, it's okay. That was his skill 2. His Nega Genesis, that was his skill 3. His Divine Arrow. And granted, whenever you used the skill 1 earlier, also the attack from his Chain Blade did not have super armor, because once again, this is a level 40 character. But I just wanted to see how fluid he would move against me in PvP. Nope, can't have any of that. Too much. Hit the gas too hard. Tiger got out of his cage for a second. All I saw was red after he used that super on me, and I had to roll through it. But, I mean, it's up to you guys, up to your playstyle, as stated earlier. Do you want a floaty character, or... This is the reason I am saving my rubies. Nameless. I mean, he's a purple defense type, but he is the opposite of a defense type. Look at this skill set. He's just all over the place. Oh, wow. Him versus Rock Howard, that would be a hyperactive match for the ages, because they both have skill sets that jump all over the stage, give super armor, and I mean, he's the #1 rated JP character right now, Nameless is. And I'm sure that Genjiro will be able to hold me over in the meantime. And once again, special thanks to KoF Luca for putting this amazing footage out there. And y'all know by now, or y'all are starting to learn, PvP is my jam. That's what makes my D hard. And if somebody could set up some kind of a PvP match between me and KoF Luca, Ah, I would love to test my metal. But in the meantime, this is the reason I'm saving my rubies. This guy right here. Again, he's insane. He's just all over the... words can't describe. It's not fair how strong and fast his skill set is, and I touch base on that. Strong, fast characters, that is what I look for. So, once again, sorry, but Igniz, I'll say it again, you're a hard pass, buddy. Once again, this has been Senpai Ry, and if you like my content, please make sure to like and subscribe. And I am urging y'all to stay violent, my friends. Out! Haha.